Hey everybody, this week our audio was I figured I'd try to post the episode anyway, if you want to try to listen through. We do get into some fun stuff actually, like should Ariane do the Bachelor, what's the worst joke I ever wrote, who Max's favorite teacher was at Calarts. So if you decide to plow ahead, enjoy the episode, and if not, we'll see you next week with that crisp, clean audio you've come to expect from Drama Queens.
What's good, everybody? My name is Ariane Kassam, and I'm here on an O1 visa.
Ariane, can you repeat that again? I'm just kidding.
My name's Max. Oh.
My name is Ariane Kassam, and I'm here on an O1 visa, valid till July 2022, up for renewal, and currently sponsored.
Okay, now I'm recording.
Who are you lot?
My name is Max Udell. There is a plane passing overhead, and I am finishing my dinner.
Woo! I'm eating jelly beans. I'm Jeremy Wiggly Tufts Griffith. And yeah, I'm here.
My name is Ariane Kassam.
You already said it, dude.
I didn't know we started recording, bro.
I thought you were recording.
Yeah,
You were the one that said 3 times in a row that you were recording.
Yes.
So,
I didn't.
welcome to episode 3.
Okay, so we just. I didn't think we started.
Do you want to redo it? Just to get it clean?
My name is Ariane Kassam, and I'm here.
Alright, so we said it 3 times now. And 3 times in each of our past podcasts. So it's definitely very clear.
He's the man
Yeah,
who
no.
he loves to introduce himself, folks.
I know. And the bit about if you were in a reality show, like, and you just had an Owen visa, I think that was a good little moment from our last
Speaking of
podcast.
reality shows, have you guys seen the latest season of The Bachelor? Oh, actually, I know Max has.
Yeah.
I have not. Why? What's going on?
I don't know, but would you apply?
Never.
Why would we apply?
Well, we do have significant
We're married,
others,
bro.
but if I was single, I would not apply as well.
Would you apply?
No.
Oh no,
No.
not to get the green card.
Wait, to be the Bachelor, you mean?
Yeah, it might be a route to the green card. No. Max is shaking his head.
You don't want that.
Why?
Wait, I want to hear Max's reasons why before I say anything.
Let's hear.
I want to know why
would you
Max
accept?
doesn't think it's a good idea.
Reality shows are really, unfortunately, predatory, and they. I am firmly of the opinion that if it doesn't matter what kind of person you are, if I were to follow you around with a camera for a week, I could make you look however I wanted. Period, bar none. I could get footage of you that would make you look like the worst person alive, and you're opening yourself up to a lot of people examining every aspect of your life, and once you are off the show, every time you are seen with another person, like another woman, it is documented, it is talked about, it is detailed. If you guys are caught out at dinner, it is setting yourself up for all of the parts of celebrity that all celebrities say they don't want, with none of the artistic fulfillment. It is just not worth it.
That's
But
very
that is
well
my
thought
take.
through. But I got a green card.
But I got a green card.
I think that if you just wanted to, like imagine let's say you applied and you got on The Bachelor and people were like,
Yeah.
oh my god, Ariane Kassam, and they love you on The Bachelor.
You're right.
Then I think that Max has a lot of valid points, and all of
I
that
agree.
stuff would likely happen and would suck. But the converse side, you could, if you make your moves right, have just a massive social media presence that could lead to, other opportunities that you might want to create yourself, like a green card.
Great.
It gets a lot of eyes on you, right? For better or for worse.
For better or for worse?
For
And so
worse.
it's like once.
For worse. Probably for worse.
I would say for worse.
It would be a fucking experience, though.
But it's like that. I know. I'm sure it
Who
would.
could deny
But
that?
it would be an experience. And you take away all adjectives and modifiers. No, but it makes me think of I think it's Bill Murray.
One's
Bill.
greatest role yet. if you actually.
It makes you think of
create
Bill
your own
Murray.
character. Maybe I'm not who
It
I
could be.
I go in there. I go
Or
in
it could
there
be
being
the worst experience of your life.
What if you went in there? What if you went onto a reality show as a character, not yourself, as a character? Then, like, you know, use that as your acting reel.
Well,
Having shown them and let you act.
I want to hear, Jeremy. I really want to hear why that makes you think of Bill Murray. But there's an essay Penn Jillette wrote about his experience on Celebrity Apprentice, and he talks about like you can't. There's this mental, you are different when you know you're on a reality show. You can't help it. And you spend the first week or two performing your best, and it completely morally depletes you, so that the rest of filming, you are just in this really...
You go crazy.
Yeah, you're in this ragged state, and you wind up, when you know there's a camera on you, you try and perform, and that takes so much mentally out of you that you cannot help but turn into one of the worst versions of yourself.
Probably, bro.
Imagine what it did to the Kardashians over all these years and years of
Imagine
getting
what
those
it
poor
did to the
girls.
Those poor
And Lord
girls.
Disick.
Yeah. What does
I know, the
what
Kassams.
about Bill Murray?
No, I was gonna.
Yes.
It's in support of your feeling, Max. It's just that quote where it's like, for everybody who wants to become rich and famous, I highly recommend the rich part. And that's
Yeah.
like something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's a quote and a half.
And then,
Yeah.
if we're talking reality shows real quick, Shaws of Sunset, the newest season aired yesterday, I think.
do I need to check it out?
I would really recommend it. It's the most chaotic. It's a really chaotic reality show. They're
Yeah.
these really
Fun to be a part of.
yeah, they're these really lovely, trashy. You love to hate them, and you get invested in all this petty drama, and it's like the best parts of trashy. This is not my recommendation for the week, but when we finish the podcast,
But it is a recommendation
I
of the
will
week.
I will certainly be going to watch
Last week you got so
The
mad
Shaws of
that
Sunset.
he had lemon water and sunset. This guy has several recommendations throughout the week.
This isn't a rec. In fact, I actively recommend many people don't watch The Shaws of Sunset, because again, it's a trashy.
Is it good to watch with your lady? That's what I want to know.
It's a blast.
Because-
it's a blast.
Well, what if
The
you're
best?
fucking single?
Paige and I watch
Because
it.
we've been
we'll be watching it together
then watch
soon.
it too. I love that. No, because me and Monica, I mean, we watch like I'll watch. I mean, of course, the classic Housewives, Beverly Hills, and then New Jersey, Dallas, Salt Lake City. I see all of it.
Yeah.
I see all of this, and
see
it's
it all.
wild. Like I get
You know
the
about Bolo?
appeal. Who's Bolo? Wait, what Bolo?
Ties.
I guess I don't. Though. He found the crack in my Real Housewives armor. Just
in
went,
my Real
Bolo.
Housewives.
Is that not anyway? I feel like I should check out the Shaws of Sunset though. Reality TV is
I feel like I should check out the Shaws of Sunset though. Reality TV is
I don't know what to say about it. It's so much more than I ever thought it could be when it first came on the scene, and I was like a little arrogant, you know, wannabe actor. Like, oh yeah, that's not. Why is that on TV? There should be scripted stuff and actors, blah blah blah. But the things that those people can be, and the things they like subject themselves to, just to like share who they are with the world, and how they do it so unabashedly, it's wild.
Some of them, there's some game shows or there's a few that I don't watch an insane amount of reality TV, but there's a few that I watch. One that comes to mind is Naked and Afraid that I've seen a few times.
I've heard of it.
And or there's one where like they dump you on an island for a month and see if you can survive. And I always ask, I'm like, what's the prize? And the answer is more frequently than not, nothing. There is no prize.
Mad money.
They want to be seen.
Survivor is money, but I'm saying like Naked and Afraid is just people saying I did it at the end, like, which is crazy to me. Yeah,
They want to be a part of a phenomenon.
Like, right? Sure. Yeah. You did it on TV.
Well, dude, it's like our buddy from Calarts, Mac Rasmus. Did you guys see?
Yeah.
He announced that he's going to be on. Was it the Wayne Brady?
Let's Make a
game show?
Deal, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But that's so funny to me, imagining Mac just like behind the thing, like competing.
Tomorrow
and, like,
night.
I
A week ago, for those of you listening.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. But yeah,
I've
bro.
always wanted to be on the,
Just being in reality or a game show.
I mean, my
Dude,
mate Moha was on one and he won mad. He won.
A game show would be
He won
fun.
like
That's wild.
2 jet skis, a gym equipment, a trip to Cuba or something crazy.
Keep
Yeah.
going, man. More. What else did he win?
I'll start.
Keep it going.
He'll tell me.
What could he have won that he didn't win? Like, what else was up for offer?
Bro, there was a lot of stuff up for, and he won a lot of it.
Well, dude, that
The
sounds like
Price
a great
is Right.
experience. Oh,
The
on the
Price
Price
is
is Right as well.
On The
Okay.
Price is Right.
Dude,
That's the best one. So everyone that's listening that wants to get into a game show, Price is Right, probably has the best odds. My mate won a lot of stuff. So
That's
There you go.
logic. The transitive property would have it.
And then with all of our
That's it as
listeners.
well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Ariane?
Ariane?
But I'm back never.
I was gonna say, with our big listenership, they'll hear that, and the applications for Price is Right are gonna skyrocket in LA this week, and they have you to thank for that, Ariane. You're not even getting paid for it.
This reminds me of a story.
Yeah, because I'll get my lawyers on it.
This Jeremy and I actually have a story about this.
What?
Jeremy probably won't remember this till the moment I bring it up, and then he's gonna blush red. He came up to me one day on like a Thursday night in studio, and he was like, "Bro, do you want to go be on TV?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm gonna be on this MTV show, and you can come with me, and we're gonna be on this show on MTV." And it was like, what show? There was a reality show on MTV, and then there was a talk show about it afterwards, breaking down the episode, and we were in the audience of the show. The cameras never cut to us for even a millisecond. For not even a moment were we on television.
What was the name?
And we had to watch like 3 episodes in this hot ass trailer beforehand, so we were caught up with the events of the show. And we drove like an hour both
What the
ways.
fuck was the name of the show?
I'm pretty sure it was an MTV reality show.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the Are You the One reunion. Is that right? Does that sound right? No.
Dude, I
That's
have
no
I
idea.
have pushed that. I remember the experience. I've pushed the content of it out of my brain. I just remember like telling my mom, because it was like, I'm already in LA at art school, and like my friend said we're gonna be on this show tonight and tune in, and my parents watched it. They watched it live and they were like, yeah,
you on the show?
No, we were in the audience and they never showed us once. Jeremy even went up to the security guard and said, "Will you seat us in the front row? Like, will you seat us first?" And the security guard did. He said, "Come to us first. I want me and my friend to be in the front row," and we were. And there was the whole shebang. They told us when to laugh and when to clap, and
It was so weird.
it was the weirdest thing. And it was an hour both ways, and we didn't even get
Didn't we get
food.
50 bucks
No,
for it though?
Jeremy, be real.
No,
Did you have fun?
no, we got no money
No.
for it.
We didn't get money for it even? Damn, bro.
I am absolutely positive we got $0 for that
He said,
experience.
We get paid.
But we get to talk about it on a podcast, what, 7 years later?
Dude. I just probably thought that it was going to be so much different than it was, but that's why it wasn't a good experience, because then it's like, oh, what the hell is this even? Like, this is LA can be so weird.
It's like a tourist
When you
trap.
start
It
to
is
see
like come
things that
be
are
on a
made.
show. Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
come be on a show and they trick people into
See
just
how it
filling out
works.
the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
There are some weird like acting jobs out in LA. My mate just did one. Well, he talked about it last year. He said it was kind of ridiculous. He worked at the Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and he was like one of the people who scared people.
A week ago?
Faces and stuff. Not a week ago. No, not around last year.
Right, well, you said I must have misheard you.
Maybe I said something crazy, but basically I mean that I basically
I wonder why.
recently, and yeah, he told me it was quite an experience there.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking exhausting. to just scare people all night.
And especially when like you're trying to make a bit of the scare,
Your
like,
voice.
and they're like, oh, we can't do that, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your voice, like the screen. That must be taxing. I'm sure. I have heard almost next to nothing good about working in any theme park.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be pretty intense experiences.
There's some, yeah,
You gotta amuse the people, dude.
conspiracies.
I mean, I don't know if there's conspiracies, but
There's conspiracies. If you search
Yeah.
Disneyland, what's it called?
I don't know. What the fuck are
Are
you
we-
talking about?
Bro,
are we turning into the Joe Rogan experience right now?
Like, no, but it was kind of fucked up. Where the people in the suits were like sexually harassing people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's
scary.
illegal. That is
That's,
scary.
yeah,
bro. Man,
I mean,
Mickey
yeah.
Mouse, you Mickey Mouse, you're chilling there, bro. Man, just groping up on you. That's mad.
Yep, that
Dude.
would be. That certainly would be mad.
Well, there's a dude. I'm not lying about this. If you,
I'm sure there's a TikTok about it. I fully believe you that there's a TikTok about that conspiracy theory.
These guys that are in these suits,
Well,
they clearly don't, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Disney does not vet their employees. I didn't think about that.
Come on. Yeah, Disney does not. If there are people actually out there doing this,
They just hire anybody to be Elsa, and then it's a.
yeah, that's it.
well, dude, I remember there used to be a Captain Jack Sparrow at Disneyland, and they
like a ride.
He's still
no,
there.
there used to be a guy. Oh, is there?
No, the
Okay.
character. I don't
was-
know.
No, I think he was removed for a while. I don't know if they ever brought him back, but it's because the character dressed up as Jack Sparrow. I like read like he wrote this confessional like somewhere online, but it was like all these chicks would come to the park and just hit on him and be like, "Come to my hotel room. It's my 18th birthday. Come to the hotel room," and like all these kinds of things like that. And so that's why they had to cut it from the park, because all these people were just so obsessed with the idea of Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow.
Insider secrets here.
I'm sure he looked like a C-list Johnny Depp at best, like you know what I mean? But it's the character. But anyway, and it was so funny. He was like, "But I was dating this, one of the girls who's
I was
playing Ariel
dating
at the
this
time
10
because
out
I
of
have a thing
10,
for
and I
redheads."
just.
He's probably dating the one they always have that Waterworld show.
Part of your world. What Waterworld? Oh yeah, the Waterworld at Universal. You're talking about
Literally
just the
Waterworld.
fucking. Yeah, dude. Waterworld's a good
Thanks
show.
for tuning in to our theme park conspiracy theory podcast. Next
Drama
up,
Queens, episode 3.
Next up, SeaWorld.
Also, bro, Seaspiracy. Did you watch that? Are you vegan now? I didn't watch it because I don't want to be. I don't want to be subjected to that kind of content.
Subjected to that kind of content.
No, wait, no. Should we?
Max, what do you think?
I think we should move on.
Okay, probably good.
Should we talk about how there's been big drama over the name, and that we don't know if we're gonna be called Drama Queens going forward?
It up. Bring it up.
We don't have to go through the whole process, but I think the main concern was that we would face like legal action.
Well, there's a bunch
In
of
the future.
shows, I guess, that have our saying.
Called Drama Queens, and if we blow up,
Drama Queens.
they'll sue
Or
us.
even if we blow up, but like, firstly, I don't like the fact that there are like 6 others actually, and then one literally talks about acting. But I guess this is.
But way less cool than us. They're way less cool than us. That's the
That's
most
true.
important part you
Don't get
forgot.
me wrong, I do love the name. But I just don't want to even run the risk of getting into shit down the line. But I guess, I don't know. If our listeners know more, I don't know. Are you a lawyer?
Are you? Should we keep Drama Queens? Should we just make Drama Queens?
I don't know, yeah.
While we're at the podcast name.
We're asking for help at this point. Help us. Fucking help us.
And what kind of accent was that, Arya? Was that
From the heart.
Welsh? Was that
That was from the
Break that
Some
one
kind of
down,
Scottish
brother.
dialect?
Fucking Larry is asking for all your help. Fucking help us. Bastard.
All right, so this is becoming more of an improv podcast
Well, let's be
with
but you
Ariane's
know what?
voices.
Tell the people how this all started. We had a group chat, and we just send voice notes, no?
Wait, what do you mean how it all started? Like the
So,
having the concern arose that
No,
drag queens?
No.
Is that what you're talking about? No.
He's talking about how we
gonna
made
cut
our
that out.
podcast, which to my memory was the three of us saying, "Fuck it, let's make a podcast."
but after we send funny voice notes, no?
That's true. Wait, but I honestly feel like, how did we even decided to make it though? Because my memory is that we just were like video calling, like let's just catch up, but let's record it. And then we started recording it, and then it's like, oh, it's a podcast.
I don't believe we make decisions like this. It was already written.
Serendipitous, I know. And the past 3 weeks, me and Max keep on thinking Ariane's not even he's gonna flake for some reason. And then
For
he
some
keeps on
reason, we
coming
think
around.
that. For
Yeah.
some reason, we think Ariane's not
He
gonna
makes
make
it seem like where he's gonna
And I'm
flake.
10 minutes in.
Well, and you've got such a good reputation for timeliness and.
Well, and I'm 10 minutes in every night.
And 5 minutes
First one
before,
on,
he'll tell us that he's
on.
online.
Yeah.
First one on, last one off. I put in the hours.
Ha.
Anyway. Was that a fucking intervention or what, bruv?
Was what?
Okay, this is off the
Rough.
rails,
We're-
baby.
We're really off the beaten path tonight, that's for sure.
Okay, so in conclusion, drama queens. It made me. I suggested Holly Weirdos. Max liked Art Break, right? Art Break was the best one. Ariane,
808's an art break.
yeah, 80, all these kinds of names, but nothing is really just capturing us the way that drama queens.
AF.
Yeah, which I thought was like kind of too millennial, kind of too like I feel like it wouldn't age well. No, bro. I mean, yeah, I guess. Can you be two? Unless you're a name. Millennial AF. I think AF.
That
But
should be our
so I
name.
guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure
What,
it out. We'll get there.
Did you say? Oh, we'll figure it out.
Gen Z as fuck.
We wish.
Generation
make
Z,
TikToks.
come together, conversation hour with Max, Ariane, and Jeremy, the podcast.
Yeah.
Full name.
And then we just make TikToks and we break it down.
We talk
We're
about
so
Gen
with this
Z
TikTok,
stuff.
We were trying to do this.
What's the
Yeah,
thing right
and then
now? Are you
Did we execute it? With Gen Z?
The thing right now is cryptos.
No, spooky. It feels like a
Is
prank.
this guy having a fucking...
I don't think I've heard that.
There's some young
Dude, there's people really out there
TikToker.
having strokes.
There really are people out there having strokes. You're not wrong. There's some young TikTok term for if you dress a little bit off style.
And it's called
That's
spooky.
the
It's
thing.
called spoopy. Called spoopy.
Nope, it's called something. I can't possibly remember it.
Okay.
Does Paige,
But
do
it's
you
a
know
trend.
it? Chugi?
Yeah, are you talking about Chugi?
I'm talking about Chugi.
Okay. I
Yeah,
haven't heard
Paige,
about
do you have a definition for us?
I
You don't have to pull it up. It's when you dress off style.
Basic bitch.
It's when you are a basic bitch.
But other things can, like Friends is considered Chugi.
Friends is Chugi.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love is Chugi.
Okay.
Apparently,
Oh,
like
that's Chugi.
low cut socks. are
Low
Chugi.
cut socks are Chugi.
Like weird.
I'm
big
Chugi.
pumpkin
I'm not a fan of
things
Friends. I
are
prefer
Chugi.
Seinfeld, but I'm
You're a
Chugi.
chuggy.
You're Chugi.
Seinfeld is not Chugi, surely.
No.
Surely Seinfeld
I've
is
seen that
on fleek.
It's always about a sweater.
Seinfeld
Thanks, Paige, for the
is
definition.
they thank you for the definition. Seinfeld is the single greatest live action or live audience sitcom of all time.
I don't even think I've seen a full episode in my life.
There's not a better sitcom filmed in front of a live
It was
audience.
about a jacket or it was about a sweater. I can't remember.
It's about a jacket.
There we go. It's a
But that's
jacket.
the whole thing, right? The MacGuffin is nothing, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
that
a show
TikTok
about
program?
nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Dude, they just did, you guys seen that new Angelina Jolie movie that came out? Like Those Who Wish Me Dead, and there's
No,
a
we
fucking
saw
fire burning.
Wrath of Man today instead of that. But
Okay,
I did
and
not
what is
see
Wrath
that.
of Man?
The new Guy Ritchie movie.
Monday for Max.
Oh, yeah, we
Oh,
were
how
talking
was-
about
how
that,
was
right?
it?
How's Wrath of Man?
I really liked it. Paige did not so much.
Okay.
I really liked it.
Do sort of
It had a plot. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. It certainly does not pass the Bechdel test. I'll tell you that much. Doesn't even try.
Okay, what are the highlights, Max? What were the highlights for you?
No, don't fucking spoil it now because I'm gonna go watch it.
The plot came together in a way that surprised me.
There we go, right?
I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Dude,
That's all we need to
I-
know.
I remember, bro, when I was taking like screenwriting classes at Calarts, and our teacher Ernest Marrero just said to us, he was like, people just want to see the ending, like they want to see the hero get what they wanted to get, but in a way that they didn't see coming. And then, like, he just basically boiled it down like that, and then I was like, that feels right.
That's pretty
And when people
interesting.
can
And
do it well.
did you fluctuate that into your writing? That you?
I mean, I try to think of it. I haven't written like a script in a while. Oh, speaking of, there's that whole voice thing. I gotta send you guys the scripts, and hopefully we can record it in tune. I think I wrote with Matt McKay. Anyway, we don't talk about that now. Off podcast. But anyway.
But yeah, Jeremy wrote
definitely,
scripts
bro.
back in the day. He'd have me come in to read them. They were explicit as fuck.
Dude, that's actually that also makes me blush. That makes me think of just like how much I was even worse like in the acting program I did before like I came to Calarts, where I loved South Park kind of stuff, but I had no way to grasp
no-
But like
what was
thought you were an auteur and based your shit around South Park.
What was your craziest joke that you've written down?
Well, okay, I'll tell you the things I'm so embarrassed about. Oh, look at Max. Why are you shaking your head?
Because
Because he
these
didn't like
these
the-
questions Ariane asks
Yeah.
are just so funny to me. What is the craziest joke you've ever written?
What is the
You
wildest,
got
bro?
his reaction. He straight away said, "Yes, I know it." So it's only people like you who have a absolute.
Whoa! No, bro, Max would have an answer. No, but like Max doesn't.
I don't know about that.
I have more confidence
Yeah.
in Max. That's
What's
true.
what's the
Like, there's
craziest
probably a lot
joke
of
you've
cringe
ever
ones.
written?
I have a
What's the craziest?
Please go. What's
joke
the
you've
worst
ever
one that I remember? That's the thing that's answerable. Yeah. Okay, wait. What's happening right now? Who's saying what?
written? You are your joke, the worst.
Oh no! No! Well, I just wanted to say Max that, and you are as well. But the problem with me, I perceive at least now, was that I only saw the crassness and like how the outlandishness of what they would say, and I didn't understand the contextualization and what was funny about it. And so it's like, oh, that could be funny. But then so I wrote this script, bro. I was in this brown bag class where we all just write sketches and print them on. You know, it was totally student run. And I freaking had just seen The Cove at the time. The movie, do you guys know The Cove, where like they like in Japan and they hunt the dolphins? For some reason I was like, let me do a weird like mix of The Cove with The Little Mermaid. And then I wrote into like the protagonist like a Japanese accent. Like it's a whole like all the sounds and stuff. And there was a girl from Japan in the class that I asked to read the script in front of the class. And the whole time she was reading, bro, everybody's face was like, yeah, bro, they would like look down, people were getting red, some people were looking angry.
And what?
And people were, I was like, oh, this is really bad. And I thought it, I
This
genuinely
is
thought it might
so
be
funny. This is so fucking funny.
I wish I could. That was another moment. I wish I could vaporize into dust. You know, it was just so like, it was rough.
Well, you
That's
see, that is crazy. That's up there.
that's definitely up there. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, what about you guys? Do you?
What's the funniest joke?
Oh man.
Ugh, the worst.
That's tough. Yeah, that's that was at Calarts or at
This conservatory, it was like a 2-year program I
Okay.
did before Calarts.
That's
just
crazy,
in the
man.
Bay Area.
That's-
Sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta, I guess.
you gotta fail. Sometimes you gotta try, right?
Phil, you got back
Yeah.
up though, right? Like, you got back
Of
up,
course,
right?
of course,
Okay.
I got back
yeah,
up.
that's rough.
Right.
Max. Okay, is anything coming to mind at all, Max?
For me, like the worst.
Yeah, like like something you've ever written or performed or presented that you just feel so cringe about? I guess?
Yeah, mine. I mean, it was. I'll be blunt. It's nothing that bad at all. Like,
Jeremy, you're the worst. I just want to preface it with that.
I don't have anything that compares to that.
You're inhuman.
That's a bold ass move. No, the ones that come to mind are more just like things I wrote at Calarts in like thinking I was deep, like trying to play with form or something and thinking I was deep, but just writing some fucking cringy ass.
What would be a line from your first year journal that would fit that description?
I feel like I could go get it and it would be every page.
Dude, when I remember looking at my first year journal, the first 3 pages are just about, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what this is. Fucking weird.
Some kid is doing Tai Chi during a monologue.
Dude, I was like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I thought
Then he
I was
humped the
going
chair.
I was like, I don't know what. We're breathing a lot, huffing and puffing, and fucking gyrating our bodies.
I touched my feet and I wept.
And I wept.
Yeah.
And then what was that saying that Adam taught us where it's like in first year you
Not in
don't know-
first year, just in the process of learning anything. You don't know what you don't know, and then
you know what you don't know.
then you know what you know, and then you don't know what you know.
But I remember the point of it was just to separate, like, there's known knowns, there's known unknowns, and there's unknown
Right.
knowns, and then unknown unknowns.
To simplify,
like, yeah, there we go.
his point was once you are a master of the craft, you will never feel like you're done with it, because with acting in particular, no matter how trained we are, I've got a hunch we will always watch a spectacular performance and just think, how the fuck did they do that? It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
and there's always an infinite well to tap into, and there's always more to learn. So the final step being you don't know what you know, it's just internalized and it's jumbled around, and you just kind of trust the days or years or whatever of work that you've put into any process. Like if you were to ask for, I don't know, the example that would come to mind, if you were to ask a master craftsman how to make something very basic, they might actually trip up on their words, because it's so internalized for them that they just do it, and then to actually explain it, to like go back that far, of course they could, but it might take a second because it's just so jumbled in the head at that point. That's what I think it meant.
They're saying teachers will never be the greatest at acting.
I'm certainly not saying that at all.
Like, that is not at all what I was saying. Well, dude, that just makes me think of, I remember, like, Breaking Bad. Like, I don't know if it was an article about it or a video or something, but they made a point about how Bryan Cranston still would have an acting coach constantly, and he wanted to be, like, have that feedback and try to be growing and learning, versus, like, Aaron Paul had no prior acting experience or training, like, prior to the show. And, like, they were just complete opposite ends of that spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
But I
When
mean,
they talk about where the training comes in handy is the longevity aspect.
yeah,
So the
longevity of
fact
the
that
career.
Aaron Paul could be making it now, but in 10 years, 15 years, does he still have the skills to uphold that same, craft?
Some people just have it, though. Some people just have it.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
definitely have it, but there's the difference between just having it and that talent, and then the training behind it to sustain that talent for a long period of time, at least.
Yeah.
It's the difference between having a period of acting where you have a role and you do well, and having a career out of it, right? Because that's where I believe the training comes in handy, is in the longevity of your actual career, with at least your instrument.
Comes in handy, yes. I agree. Look, we talked about this last week. Just you want to set yourself up. You could be the strongest person in the world. You still want to keep lifting weights. You want to keep it up. You always want to hook yourself up to do the best you can do.
Just keep training. Keep training.
Yeah.
At any
But
regard.
but it is also like, I mean, I feel like it never becomes not fascinating to think about why so many people are obsessed with like the it factor, or there's just something so magnetic or watchable about them. Or me, for example, like I'll see people just come into the A-list out of nowhere, and I'm like, I'll just say for example like Jennifer Lawrence. Like I've never really liked any acting I've seen from her, and I remember like watching Winter's Bone, which was like the one that made her famous. And there's this indie actor in there named John Hawkes, and he just plays like I think it's Teardrop or something, and he fucking knocked my socks off. And I was like, wait, so this movie launched her into the A-list, and no one gives a fuck about this guy, and it kind of peeled back the layer of like the machine. I think his name is John Hawkes. He was just so, I don't know, dude. He was like fire to watch on screen. Like he was just like seemed so in character, but also so natural, and he had like this kind of dark, dirty edge to him. But I don't know. I don't know how to describe it exactly.
This guy.
Yeah, and John Hawkes, and don't get me wrong, he's been in a ton of shit. But it's like, it is kind of weird how some people will just get catapulted, you know.
Yeah.
To the forefront, and then they're in all the big movies and working with all the big directors.
I am not, well, and I'm not saying it's all of them, because there are certainly people that just do get catapulted, but more often than not, when I see an actor come like slamming into the scene, like in a ton of shit out of nowhere, and I look them up, and it's that their parents are very well connected. And I'm not saying, I mean, but that's just, it's crazy how many people I look at and I'm like, oh, her brother or her dad is this famous, oh, her mother's this producer, and or even just like a CEO of a major, but not all. There are actors that I have looked up that have not come from that and have absolutely burst onto the scene and made a huge, and are talented and made a huge splash. But
a lot of them are trained as well, though. A lot of them are trained.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them would have gone to these schools, and they do have connections. You can't deny that, and they do train really good actors. Like,
to be good enough to bust in.
Yeah, no, you genuinely look at like everyone that's, at least a lot of people that I've tried that have come from different schools, like obviously Juilliard and Yale, like Carnegie Mellon, like they're good actors still. Not to say that,
bro,
you know, we still are, but it's like
Calarts has got Don Cheadle.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, I want to hear this from both of you, but I'll ask Max. Max, what does your ideal career in LA look like? Like if you had to imagine the next 20 years of your life, 30 years of your life.
Paul F. Tompkins, early Paul Rudd, or Patton Oswalt is exactly what it looks like. I would
yeah, I love that.
Paul Rudd, he blew up a lot with the Marvel stuff, and he still does, but those guys are in a pretty decent amount of, I mean, there's a ton of actors like that, but that I could name that also fit that bill, but those are the ones that come to mind. They're in a lot of projects. They are seemingly, from the outside, artistically fulfilled. They still get to do their own weird or fringe shit. Like, they still get to follow the beat of their own drum. And they seem to be making enough off of art, and it's not famous enough where you have to put like shields over your face in the airport, or you'd get recognized every time you go out. But it's still, there's people who, I really love your work, and I don't know, there's something about those guys that feels more like personal with their fan bases. Just more honest about their process. I don't know. They open up more, and they don't do these. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it would be for me.
I know. I love those answers though.
I definitely resonate with that. Yeah, they definitely are more personable.
Yeah, like they seem like they're kind of people, and like I get that. Like, and like they're not too famous, so they can still live their life to an extent. But they share their lives with the fans they have.
Yeah, and they get to do weird projects that are these crazy, fringe, fun things that they write or their friends wrote, and then they're in BoJack Horseman. And I mean, Patton Oswalt's in, his show just came out, his new Marvel show. He plays MODOK. MODOK? Somebody will get mad at me for mispronouncing it. MODOK. It's an Iron Man villain.
Character?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay,
it's
wow.
an animated. It's like a claymation animation show on. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's on Hulu or what. It's still fringe enough. It's not like he's gonna blow up as. It's not like a live action MODOK origin. It's like a comedy. It's got a Robot Chicken vibe to it. I said that
Yeah,
so weird.
that sounds
Robot
so
Chicken.
Also, dude, that just made me, sorry. That just brought like a random thought. I remember there was a guy in my I was in one semester of screenwriting with him, and then he ended up like he does a bunch of claymation for Robot Chicken, and like he's like a part of the
that's
team
cool.
and stuff. And I was like, oh, dude, what the hell? Like,
It's crazy
what are you
they're
doing
still
here?
going.
Yeah. His name is Zach Tolchinsky, and he was I think he was doing experimental animation. Anyway,
Shout out
total
Zach
tangent.
Tolchinsky.
Yeah.
Ariane?
But I love that trio for you, Max. Yeah, and then Ariane, yeah, who's how do you imagine your ideal career over the next 20, 30 years? Oh, one visa? Or is that green card? How soon is the green card? No.
I would say, in terms of people that inspire me, their careers,
Yeah.
I would say I would love a combination of Riz Ahmed meets Donald Glover in terms of writing his own show, and starring in it, mixed with Leo, mixed with Will Smith.
Here you go, dude.
And then I would
Leo.
either be, and then I would
JJ.
love to. My dream role is actually, either to be, I would love to be James Bond or the villain.
Okay, so but you want like the absolute pinnacle of A-list fame and success that's possible in this life.
No, I didn't know. Those are just the.
Would you say that?
No, I.
But if you were in those movies, that's the life you would have.
Right.
Yeah, you did list all people that are mega stars.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't I want to be on the same level that they are? I would
No, we're not saying
We're not-
why wouldn't you, but no, I'm saying we're just highlighting
I'm not
your
mentioning
answer.
those people for the stars. I thought you said whose career would love to have. In terms of career, those people.
No, exactly.
movies that they've done, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Forget
yeah.
the fame shit though.
No, but I'm just saying, but like having their life, you would be A-list.
Okay, sure, fine.
But that's not why you want it, because you love their projects, though. That's what you're saying. You like
Yes,
the
the
projects
tone
and
and
who
the
they are
vibe,
as
but
people.
yes.
Yeah. And you can't be that good a person without being A-list. That's all we're saying.
And I'll be able to do that.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
I'm going there.
would you have
dealing with that
won?
shit,
Are
bro.
you? How much are you still? What would it be for you?
Well, dude, I still like, I really want to like make my own sitcom in the Philippines. And I kind of like right now, I'm like what I've been thinking about is doing like a hybrid, where it's still mostly English, but I want to work in some Tagalog. But I mean, I know Ariane's watched it, but and Max, you're the first person who even told me about him. But do you like Dave? Lil Dicky, like a Lil Dicky show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
I have seen the show. He's a complicated artist, but he puts out really good material by and large.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, and like Dave, I would love to do like a Dave kind of show in the Philippines of like what it is, like the showbiz there, and like how the people really are, and because there are the weird things about like, it's all like there's this I shouldn't give away too many of my ideas. But just in case the two listeners out there are gonna try to take the Philippines market by storm. But I kind of want to do something involving like how so many kids when they are like half white. And I guess it's in the Philippines, but it's a lot of other countries. But they do think, oh, I'll go there, I'll become famous. And of course, it's the same way. Like a lot of times they get disillusioned, and you realize, oh, it's not that easy. You can't just come here just because you're half white and like they get it. And so I guess just like navigating that. But anyway, I'm getting way too specific. I do. So I guess maybe like being like that, like Lil Dicky level of being known, where it's like I feel like what you were saying with Paula Tompkins and freaking like Patton Oswalt, where it's like they can do cool projects and they're not necessarily well. Actually, Lil Dicky's probably too famous because it's music, but I wouldn't have the music aspect, you know. But it's just that show that I think really resonated with me.
I hear you.
And yeah, dude, I feel like it'd be cool to like, oh, I have my show, and then maybe I can get to do some cool theater.
Fashion line.
That'd be cool.
A fashion in the show.
Do it all.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
I
I'd
hear
love
you.
to do like a
Fashion
cartoon.
line. He has a TikTok with health videos.
Are you, Jeremy,
dude.
at all like I'm much more drawn ideally to character work. Do you
Yeah.
have a feeling about that?
I think I do feel that way too. Yeah, where like the idea of like, for example, like as much as like, you know, I've talked about Atlanta with both of you, like what Donald Glover does as an actor on that show is so boring to me. Where like I don't think there's any interest to me in playing like just kind of a straight lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the kind of characters that are around. Yeah, you know,
Well,
and I
and-
definitely like. I'd love to do
Yeah.
funny voices and stuff like you get to do in your voice acting. You know.
I certainly would not call Donald Glover's performance bad, but there's an aspect where it feels like he's playing what he knows, and it winds up reading. Yeah, it's I'd love to see him make more choices for sure. For a guy that we
Yeah.
know has that capacity and that played such
Community, right,
big. Well, in his sketches, but even just
Yeah.
you for him to write Atlanta for what that show is like, he's
Yeah,
clearly
as a
got a
writer.
mind that leans towards the. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, and I was like, whatever. We don't have to talk about
Teddy
Lion
Perkins.
King, but yeah, I agree. I would because Ariane, I know
He does do that.
you're definitely, you talk about, I mean, I know you love them both, but you talk about wanting to do the, like you just mentioned, the leading man type thing is really attractive to you, getting to helm that storytelling aspect.
I just think, I mean, at least like Indians in the world, you know, like I don't want to be that best friend that's kind of weird and nerdy. And
Sure.
that. Like, fuck it, make us the leading man. See, I'm sure it will do as good in sales if it's a good movie, you know? We've
Yeah.
seen that it can do that. So it's just like, I think just breaking that mold so that more people see that, you know, it's a possible thing to do. Because there'll be literally more Indian people at least being like, hey, actually there is something, like I can actually become an actor in this industry, and it's not like there's only a limited amount out in, you know, it's allowed for everyone. Because the main thing is narrative and representation does matter in terms of how we all see each other. It's like, if you're not seen, there was that quote that said, if you're not seen in movies and film and TV, it's as if you don't exist in it. It suppresses that aspect. And it's like, how else are we supposed to learn about each other and learn about our stories without, like, because we all know that it's like through media or news or something, where one way or the other you're getting informed by other people, you know,
Yeah.
about their cultures before even meeting them. People will
Yeah.
hear about Muslims, about Indians before they even meet them. And then they'll, like, a lot of people will meet me and be like, oh shit, you're nothing like what I thought.
Yeah, that's true,
You know what
dude.
I mean? They'll be like, you're the first Muslim that did. You're the first Indian that did.
You the
And I'm
first,
just like,
bruv. You the first
Yeah.
one, bruv. Is that what they all sound like, dude? You gotta diversify your friend circle, Ariane. No, I'm just kidding.
So that just sounds like, that's my just
No,
like
that's-
douchebag guy asking the question.
Yeah. No, but honestly, that's beautiful to like hear. Like, I think that is so powerful. But you know, something I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts of is, obviously, you know, I agree that representation matters, and it's great to have more kinds of people on screen. Where do you guys think the line is between just people who are not good at acting getting opportunities because they happen to fit a demographic versus, you know, still casting qualified, talented people, but making sure that it's not whatever bias, prejudice. Yes, please, Max.
In my opinion, that happens either way. Even before there was
Yeah.
a diversity push, there was always shitty people on TV for a bunch of dumb reasons.
Yeah.
I think the nature
Yeah.
of the beast is to be so politically driven that very few people are fortunate enough to get in the door because of talent. And because of that, and because of history, it favored white actors for a very long time, and I'm all for a diversity push. I just don't, in my experience and many of my friends, obviously talent's really important and it can get you the role, but it's a whole different thing. Like we talked about, whatever it was last week or 2 weeks ago, getting in the door is a different thing. The commercial aspect, selling yourself is a different thing, and getting your foot in the door is a different thing. And when you're down to casting between 5 different people and none of them are that great and they all got their foot in the door, you know. So to answer your question, I think not so talented people will always be cast in things because that's just how things go. And I think not that you are, but I know there are people that blame it on diversity or a million things, and at the end of the day, you don't even know, because I've seen real world examples where actors don't get cast because the height doesn't work out, because literally they liked him for the role, but they realized the eye line would be weird for the other person that was cast with them. Somebody else was already cast in the role, and the height difference is too much, and the eye line would look weird on camera. We need to go with somebody else. Your hair is different. There's a million reasons that aren't talent based, and a lot of the times that can just result in weird casting calls. That's what I think.
No, I got denied or they went with some other actor before me because I didn't have a six-pack, like legitimately.
Oh shoot! They're like, pull it up, bruh. Pull up that shirt.
So basically, I got a call from my manager saying, "Hey, they really like you for this role." It was this movie that was shooting in Chicago, and like it was like I was in the middle of Ramadan, and it was like in 7 days. And she was like, "So are you athletic?" And I understood exactly what she meant, and she had to ask it, but it's not her fault. And then I was like, I mean, I'm on my way to gym right now, like.
I'm working on it.
I don't have a six-pack. But they were like,
get the pack out.
basically I had to take photos of myself like without a shirt and the thing. Bro, the way I gym, holy shit, I was in there for like 2 hours.
Well, and then again, but it's,
you know what, the photos came out, I was
it's,
like, you know what, either way.
but then it's these code words, and the next time you get a casting call, they want somebody more relatable is the code word. And what they mean by that is they don't want somebody who looks cut and, you know, it's
it makes sense for the story. Like when I read the script, I was like, okay, they literally have a scene where they fawn over.
Oh, I get it. I'm just saying you can never predict it, and if you change your body one way or you target one thing, you're gonna inevitably get an audition for another. You know, the right roles find you at the right time.
I think for everyone out there, for every actor out there, you should just go to gym. Just go to gym and just like work out because it's healthy, not because of fucking.
Well, hold on.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Laurence Olivier who believed that an actor should be as physically fit as an Olympian?
Whatever that means, do yoga, be physically active, not just gonna get you a role, but just do it for your life because it's good for you. That's it.
That's Arion's recommendation of the week. Get yourself fit.
Working out.
Fucking get fit. Yeah, well, whatever working out is for you. It could be yoga, it could be lifting weights, it could be Pilates, whatever it is.
I agree, but it's complicated for a lot of people.
Yeah. There's a lot of different types. There's a lot of different types out there.
Lifestyles, and it's easier said than done, I guess is all I will say. I agree. I love feeling fit. I feel great well, you can, but it's easier said than done. There's a lot of lifestyles out there, my friend.
You know what?
I don't know. Everyone has the time to at least walk, right? Wherever you go, you can at least walk. That's it.
Well, you know what, bro? Dude, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing a shirt. It says Nike. It says athlete on it. And if you look right here, there's text.
It says.
Well, hold on. Let me read it to you. If you have a body, you are an athlete. And so there you go. That's what I'll say on it. That's what I'll add to it.
Exactly. And if Nike fucking agrees with me, then I'm pretty sure I'm doing something.
But no pressure to be any kind of way. You know what I mean? We're not giving life advice. We're not judging. We're just saying the 3 of us like to exercise and try to be relatively healthy. I grew up as a super fat kid. I didn't exercise at all. I wasn't sporty. I enjoy the gym and sport these days much better. You know? I remember doing Chris Pratt like right after Guardians 1. I like read this interview in Esquire, I think, and like he said something. I mean, I'm sure all the A-listers. Why wouldn't you if you have the access? No, I'm just kidding.
Not elite.
But they asked about the weight loss, and he was like, "My favorite thing is like the world just becomes stuff. I just want to jump up. Like I want to jump on things and climb things." And I was like, I'm I'm moving toward that. You know what I mean? I still got a little extra baggage, but it's so true, man. Like when I was way heavy, I was like I hated locomoting, and to be a little lighter, it's like it is fun to be like Nathan Drake. That's an Uncharted reference for people who played it on PlayStation.
Tom
just,
Holland.
like, platforming around. Yeah. But
Tom Holland does ballet.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know why you're laughing, Jeremy. He does ballet.
no, I love how that was the follow up to that line.
Leo, one of the better actors, he's got a dad bod.
That's true, man. That's
He got a
true.
nice
And
tummy.
Maybe
He
it's
does yoga.
maybe there's something about the older actors where it's like when they've gained and lost weight for roles, maybe like they just
Then
hold
they
the dad
dad
bod, eat more easily in their later years. You know, let's put that to the scientific theory.
I still say
Yes.
forget acting, whatever.
Max is like, what the fuck?
Exercise is good for you.
Okay.
Do it. Yoga
Okay.
is especially good for an actor though. If you're gonna do it, if you don't like lifting weights, at least stretch mindfully.
All right, there we go. There's another recommendation from Ariane. So you know what's
That's
something,
how I'm doing that, boy.
bro?
Like-
I love it, dude. No, dude, editing the last episode, I realized you guys were asking me who my favorite teacher was, and then Ariane, you talked about your most influential teachers. Max, who was your favorite teacher at Calarts? I want to know this.
Oh. Daniel Passer, clowning teacher.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We never mentioned it.
Daniel Passer, beyond a shadow of a doubt, changed my life.
I'm jealous of you guys getting to do the clowning semester, man. You know?
I
Do it?
No.
yeah,
didn't
I
know
had a
that.
lot of meetings with the higher ups in faculty, and basically straight up said, "I'm paying a lot of money to go here. You're gonna put me in the clowning class next semester."
Yeah. How did the
so-
negotiations go? I'm in the office and you come into my office. I'm like, oh, Max.
Depends.
You want to
Depends who I was with.
Listen, I pay a
Oh,
lot.
hey,
Depends who I was with.
Okay.
Certain certain very high up faculty members were a bit more dismissive than lower ones, but whatever I did worked because I wound up in the clowning class. And yeah, Daniel
Nice.
Passer absolutely changed my outlook on acting and just the world, and yeah, definitely was my favorite class, favorite teacher.
How? Like, how did he change your outlook?
Very hard to boil down. Just the way he framed things made so much sense to me, and the core philosophy that I took of what he taught was that he explored it through clowns, but it translates to all acting and to just at least the way I like to live life. He taught me very valuable tools on how to legitimately approach life with a natural curiosity, and to never assume things, or to never to just look at things in a slightly different way, and all the beautiful things you can see because of that.
I love that, dude.
Yeah,
Dang, bro.
I loved it.
We do,
One of
we do,
his things was the way he would do, like making it, creating it as if like when you're listing things, think of it as like coming up with things for a party instead of just making a plain list. It's like planning a party, which I think gets everyone excited about what they do.
Yeah.
And I use that to this day.
That's super
Whatever
cool, man.
project
That's
you're
super
doing,
cool,
it's
man.
like think of all the tasks
Yeah.
that you're doing as planning a
He
party.
did. He'd
Yeah.
also do a lot of exercises with us where the end goal was literally impossible, things that you could not do. So the two options were either to stress about it and worry about impressing the teacher, or to realize all you can do is let go and have a fun time trying. And you wind up getting close with, he'd have us do some things where you'd have to be psychic with other people, and once you stopped caring, there would be some surprising results where you would be jarringly in sync with people. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, he just taught me how to tap into curiosity that I try and carry with me to this day.
That sounds so fun, dude. Like, I wish I could have done all those exercises. done all that stuff. My like third. Was it the second semester of third year? Right? Yeah, I think that's what it was.
That's when Ariane and I had him. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was in. Oh man, I feel like that semester. I won't speak on anybody else's experience, but I feel like that may have been like the most, maybe the least growth I had as an actor and performer. You know what I mean?
You should.
I can own that.
Yeah, that was the worst class I took at Calarts, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
What's the story? What was one of the acting exercises? All right, I'm
What's
assuming
one of the-
that acting class. Boom,
Dude,
back to the room.
I can hardly even remember, but there might have been something along the lines of like, okay, let's watch this film noir. Ooh, femme fatale. Ooh, I forgot what the guy one is even, the masculine one. The detective? Something like that. It's like, okay, now go and
The
like, walk around
Maltese
and
Falcon.
like,
That's
dressed
all.
up. Yeah, I love the movies. And then you just walk around fucking like, is one of the two? Dude.
The one I remember, because everybody, I don't know, there was a bit of a culture. The one I remember was that she had us bring a tiny piece of trash to class, and I've a gum wrapper. I found a gum wrapper, and I was currently in a scene with Carlo where I was playing a character named Motorcycle Boy. And that, I swear to God, it was from like this old Coppola film. And she had us look at the trash, and she's like, envision the thing your character loves most in the world. And I was like, a motorcycle? I don't know. Like, I'm playing Motorcycle Boy. And then she slowly, she spent like 30 minutes with us, walking us through the thing withering and dying. And I just remember there was a moment where I was like, I'm paying right now. Like, I'm paying a lot of money to be here. And I remember just being like, I'm staring at a gum wrapper. And I looked around the class, and everyone was weeping. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going insane. I feel like I'm being gaslit. I feel like I'm losing my mind. And some people, power to them. I get the whatever. Some people are more emotionally available to that than me. I remember talking with some of the people that were crying, and I was like, I straight up was like, what did you get out of that? Because I just hated it. And they were like, nah, not much. Like, not much. I'm more easily able to go there, and they own them. Like, okay, because I remember just sitting there like, this feels like I'm going absolutely crazy. I feel like I'm going fucking nuts staring at a gum wrapper, being asked to weep. But I got bad notes from her too. The only notes I ever got were about my feet weren't pointed in the right direction. I swear.
You're a fucking penguin.
I got very few acting notes. It was mainly just my feet are pointed to the sides, and they need to be. This character would sit with their feet pointed straight.
He called you happy feet.
That's so funny, dude. It's wild, man. I really enjoyed the semester, the storytelling. Not the semester, like the few week thing with Christopher Rivas when he came to do storytelling.
Like the few week thing with Christopher Rivas when he came to
Okay, that might have just been my semester.
Okay, that might have just been my semester.
Yeah. That guy was great.
It was a welcome break for sure.
He's great. Yeah. No, to go from her class to Daniel Passer's clowning class was like a revelation. It was just brilliant.
Yeah. That's I'm jealous of that. Did you? Did we all have? Oh yeah, because wait, were we all in Mariana's together?
I never had Mariana.
Me and you were.
Oh shoot, that's why, dude. Oh yeah, because I remember when Vieva got you the freaking Christmas gifts or whatever. Okay, so Max never. Damn, bro. Okay. Max never had the Mariana experience. How did you feel, Ariane, with Chekhov and everything?
I loved it.
How do you look back on it? I loved it too, honestly.
I loved it.
Bless you, Max. Oh wow, how did you get the sneeze? I don't hear any of them.
That was crazy. What is that? Sneeze canceling headphones or something?
I know, dude.
I moved away from my microphone, but you'll definitely hear it when we submit. The folks at home will definitely have heard me sneeze.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, maybe we shouldn't
Well,
get
maybe we
into
shouldn't get
Chekhov
into
then,
Chekhov
because
then.
Max
Because Max didn't freaking do that
it's
stuff.
easy. Just put nudger on it. But anyway, I love Chekhov. I absolutely loved it. I love like because it gives you the ability to just like go further than what's modern and contemporary and everything. You at least allow yourself to go to the crazy places. Because some of those plays are crazy. They are
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It did give me an
It did
appreciation
give
for
me an
Chekhov and
appreciation
like
for
the
Chekhov
depth
and,
and
like, the
richness
depth
of
and
the
richness
life
of
of the
the
characters
life of the
underneath the
characters
text and
underneath the text
the
and,
access
the
that.
access
But
that.
what I think
But
what
what I
the
think what the
most wild
most
thing to
wild
me
thing to
about
me
that
about that
studio
studio
was how we
was how
just
we just
like opened up with our stories in a circle for like the first.
Oh,
Was it
that-
week or two? But I was like
like,
shocked by what because like I like totally talked about all like my religious things, right? And like how I was like conceptualizing myself and coming out of it. Like I was just way more honest than I expected I was gonna be. Like I thought I was gonna keep it, but then everybody was like it seemed like everybody was just like pouring their soul out in the circle. And that was like a cool. Like I feel like if I was ever a teacher in a position, I would love to like make students feel safe enough to do that. Because like I think the whole point was like, oh, you these things that you felt you could never say, you did, and you shared with
Circles
us,
have a way
and
of
you're fine.
doing that. Funny enough.
Yeah.
I think there's a value.
It's like
There's a
you're
value
okay.
in like sitting pretzel style on the floor with a class and just saying how you
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Oh, we
man.
were blindfolded though. Basically, go into you're in the circle, and then they blindfold you, and you go in, and you start your monologue essentially, and then you're in the middle of a Chekhov monologue, and then you're like,
Oh yeah, when she That's a different exercise. That's the acting one, but yeah, but that was
but that's what it was the catalyst for a lot of people. I leave
Yeah.
myself. I was in the middle of a
yeah,
damn
do those
Chekhov,
things.
just rehearsing the damn lines to make sure I had to start talking
I know.
about crazy.
It is crazy thinking of how out there a lot of things we did were, because obviously you're in a class, it's like, oh, okay, it didn't seem, I mean, sometimes it seemed wild, but other times it didn't, and then in retrospect, given how like mundane my life is now, I'm like, oh wow, there were some very
Nataki
or like
had
our
us
gesture
roll
jams.
our ankles for 40 minutes straight. Like, and that's not even, it just surprises me to hear you say that, because even saying that ankle thing is like, it doesn't even touch on some of the crazy shit that you are asked to do in those classes.
I know.
I feel like that is
just
just
so used to it.
scratching the surface.
I love it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I miss it. It was valuable. I thought it was brilliant. But I'm just saying on a superficial level, it's funny because I think that does not even begin to communicate what.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy.
What it was.
I would love to be a part of a project that's just like, well, honestly, the last thing I did that was kind of on that
Yeah,
level was
good
like
project.
the Monkey King thing with Daniel. So where you get to do just crazy, you seem like you can just do whatever you want, and it's like pure comedy at its best and at its like most raw sense. And then it's just like that stuff is way more fulfilling sometimes than just doing a self-tape on a Sunday.
Yeah,
You know what I
like
mean?
you access something deeper. Or I was just thinking of our gesture jams
Just thinking of
in frickin' Elaine's studio, you know? And which basically what that was like we would do like Shakespeare
and which
monologues.
basically what that was
and
like
our
we would do
teacher
like
Elaine
Shakespeare monologues.
would like
And our teacher
push
Elaine
us or
would
like move our
push us
arms,
or,
like just
like,
be
move
very,
our
very
arms, like, just
physical
be
with
very, very
us.
physical with us.
And,
Drag
like,
you,
it just-
dragged
drag
me
me.
by the foot around the studio.
Yeah.
Like you're
I know.
yelling, like to be or
Sometimes
not
she
to
would
be.
drag.
I
Yeah,
remember that. I
yeah.
was there for that class. Remember?
Yeah.
I came in that class.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
time.
yeah. But it was amazing to see like wow. I think it goes back to what we said last week of like oh what's stored in the body and just when you're physically doing or even with voice acting like how you make such a physically embody what you're doing in the studio, whereas when you do have these kind of tangible things and the energy of another person, it's like weird things can come out of you. But it is very cathartic. Like everybody felt like such a release after they did their gesture jams. You know.
Yeah, well, it's all just different styles, but it was valuable.
Yeah.
Whereas many of our teachers' styles were to emotionally delve deep. I mean, Elaine, and I say this because I loved it too. She'd literally just shove you. She would ask your permission to lightly hit you, and I'm not like she abused us or stuff, but she would fucking push you around. Us. She would push us around while you're doing like this ancient Shakespeare text about grief or something, and it was just like, it got you there. It absolutely. I mean, I remember seeing people. The biggest thing. It's. I don't want to say dangerous, but people would have to like have really real cool down periods after they did it. Be like, I have to leave the room and I need to go breathe. And some people's lasted like an hour.
Indulgence, no?
Huh?
Sometimes it's indulgence, no?
Yeah, sometimes.
Some people.
That's
But I remember,
everybody's
dude. I remember watching you and Yeva's Macbeth. Bro, I just the rehearsals and like the lights and things like that. No, but dude, I honestly thought that like you got to some pretty like wild places. You know what I mean? Like doing the scene work in the class. And I'm like, dude, like Max, like.
I appreciate it. That's one of the scenes I still feel the least fulfilled about. Not because of that one. That's one of the scenes that I loved so much. It's for those listening, it's just the scene where they basically are. He just comes back from having murdered. Was the scene we did right? He just comes back from having.
You had the is this a knife monologue, right?
Right, and it's an amazing. Macbeth is one of my favorite, just pieces of art. It's so fucking cool and good, and it was such a good scene. And it's funny hearing you say that, and I appreciate it because I look back and I remember being so frustrated that it was like we're not even scratching the surface. Like there's so much right in front of us, and I just can't. And I don't want to speak for Yeva. I'm pretty sure she felt a similar way, and we were happy enough with how it turned out. But it was just like, like I wish I had. I remember just thinking like I wish I had the emotional capacity and the tools to dig into this, and I just
I know what you mean.
Cannot. I had no access to it.
Yeah, I felt that way definitely
now?
about other scenes we do.
Again now?
Of course you would.
I mean, I'd love to tackle it again. There's, I think there's there were some teachers at Calarts that would give us classical text and expect us to do a classically good performance. And then there were other teachers, like I remember Nataki saying point blank, she's like, you're working on a text from the 1800s. You're an 18-year-old kid trying to embody the grief of a 40-year-old man whose whole family has been murdered. Like, you don't have access to this, so what you can do is find your own way in. And there were other teachers who were like, there were other teachers who were like, you don't have to give a good Macbeth performance, but you can still find something out of this. Like, you can still use this as a learning experience and a tool and explore something you wouldn't get to, which frequently resulted in really cool performances.
Yeah. And I think that's a great way to look at it. Because the lessons you can learn, lessons you can teach you. It's also so funny to me what some people in the class did. I'm not going to name names, but it's just like, the things that happened at art school. But one of our classmates and another of our classmates, a guy and a girl, I remember I was talking to the girl. It's like, so-and-so, it was like a romantic scene. She's like, he was like telling me like he thinks we should have sex to make the scene more real or the scene more, engaging. And I was like, that's not okay.
That's fucked up.
Bro. It was freaking wild.
That's some next type of shit.
Also, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, I'll just bleep it. Dude, it was Umpo and Madeline Quick.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear that.
And I was like, okay, damn. She was like,
yeah. No, but it's like you can't expect a fucking kid to embody Macbeth. Like that's a crazy to be like do a good. You could even argue Hamlet would be a tough to access, and Hamlet is a kid, but dude,
it's heavy stuff.
You know what the best Hamlet performance I've ever seen. You know what it is?
Severus Snape.
What? No.
Whoa. Ethan
Royal
Hawke.
Shakespeare Company.
Oh,
I don't know what year it was, but it was a Hamlet set in West Garnet, performed by 26-year-old Upper Theatre.
It's a brilliant.
That's-
I saw that one too. It's brilliant.
You saw it?
The video, yeah, the movie of
Oh,
it.
you watched the video?
Oh.
The like live, the record. You know, they recorded it.
Watched-
I'm gonna see that. I should watch it.
I think I've seen a clip.
It's
of it.
brilliant.
It does not even do it justice.
I'm sure.
Live, holy man can act. He
That's
was
wild, dude.
so sick. His to be or not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a video I
No,
gotta
that's
look up.
it's one of the hardest monologues in the history, just because it's so built up. Like, what do you even do with "To Be or Not to Be" anymore? Because it's so overdone and built up, and there's so many expectations around it.
The way, but the thing is,
That
I
to
think what I got from him is like he did it as him. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. To see a good one is like always mind blowing to me, because it's just like, how do you approach that text with honesty when you've been making fun of it since before you even knew who Shakespeare was? You see SpongeBob holding, you know, like whatever. It's such a tried and true thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I don't
know.
know if the British will be making fun of that one.
The one.
That's
I
their,
know.
that's their secret national anthem.
Yeah. Well, dude, in a way, it's like Rada. In a way, it's kind of like the oldest text I had, I guess, a relationship with as an actor, because the very first play I ever did my junior year of high school was called I Hate Hamlet, which was about like this LA star. You know that play? Yeah. Oh yeah, because the monologue always comes up.
Yeah.
Searched monologue, I think it's
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude.
Monologue for drama schools. It's like that's just #1 on 10 websites. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, which is so funny because the character's Andrew Rowley. He's like a TV actor, or he's just a poster, and he gets cast to play Shakespeare in the Park. I'm not going to do it for the podcast, but of course I remember it. But I heard last night right from the start. I knew I forgot. Oh, dude,
Wow, called out.
That's the Alzheimer's. That's the Alzheimer's
Oh
creeping
my
in,
gosh.
dude. Early onset. No, but anyway. Yeah. Some hope. It was just about like, and he, just gets that monologue right, but he's mostly shit at Hamlet and Shakespeare in the Park. I mean, it was so fun doing Hamlet for viewings in Elaine's class, and yeah, man.
I remember
Anyway,
you
you guys.
tackling To Be or Not to Be for a while in school, both semesters.
Yeah.
You were in Mary Lou's with me, right? First semester or no?
Yeah, but I don't think I did To Be or Not to Be in Mary. I was.
Yeah, I don't. I remember you really pushed to do To Be or Not to Be. Yeah, you do have an intimate relationship with that monologue. You were pushing
Did I
for
push
it.
in Elaine's class?
Not in a negative way, but you made it.
Yeah.
You
I was
made
like,
it clear as day
I've been
that
thinking,
you
Elaine,
would be doing
perhaps.
that monologue and that you wanted to explore it and work on it, and it was your white whale. It was your white whale, if you will.
Really adamant about Hamlet.
What are we thinking of Hamlet?
What do I think of To Be or Not to Be?
Elaine, my name is Jeremy Griffin,
Whether 'tis nobler.
and I would like
Yeah, you did a shitty Cockney accent too.
for the role of Hamlet.
And To Be or Not to Be? Did
To
I?
Be or Not to Be?
I forgot that.
No, I'm joking. You did not.
I would have
do
believed I did it as like an
British
exercise one
dialect.
day. Where Elaine's like, Jeremy did, just right now. Oh, yeah.
just right now. Oh, yeah.
Nothing will be.
Anyway, you guys.
Wait, really quick, because we do have to wrap up. But
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, do you guys have recommendations?
I have
for
to
this
tell
week?
this
We're at
story.
hour 17.
It's
Tell
just
the
so
story.
relevant to Be or Not to Be.
Okay.
Because
Let's end with this story.
and I won't
today.
name the name, but y'all will certainly remember this. I believe I mentioned on last week's podcast how we do viewings at the end of the year. I did mention that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's okay. And
3-hour Hamlet.
this actor got up and did To Be or Not to Be in front of the entire acting school, and he went to be, and everybody laughed, and it was like, haha, he's playing with the text, he's having fun with form and function, and he goes, or not. to be, and he probably did the entirety of To Be or Not to Be. Must have taken, absolutely no exaggeration, at least 10 minutes. Full. He did the whole monologue like that, pauses between every single word like he was searching for buried treasure in the bottom of his soul in between the words. I will never forget that.
I'm gonna just have a stroke.
Yep,
That's not even
I will
acting.
never
That's
forget
performance
that.
art. That's performance art,
Yeah, it was
which is
crazy.
something you're susceptible to at Calarts as well, or any art school. You might stumble your way into some performance
We should
art.
wrap up.
That's
We should
okay.
wrap up.
It's okay.
Let's do it. You guys have any
Let's do it.
recommendations?
You guys have any recommendations?
You go first. Oh yeah, did we want to talk about your meditations?
Oh no, I don't think we did each other's this week. Well, I didn't.
Well, I
Right?
didn't.
I did.
Right? Okay.
I did not drink lemon water in the mornings. I'm sorry.
I didn't drink lemon water, Ariane. I'm sorry.
Ariane, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't drink
I'm
lemon
sorry,
water.
bro, I didn't
Well,
drink
did you want to
lemon
talk
water.
about
Well,
any
did you
Mario?
want to talk about any Mario?
About what?
Never mind. Never mind.
Mario? What did you?
No,
About
did
any
you
of
want to
them,
talk about any
Ariane.
of them?
About any of them,
Ariane?
Ariane.
Did you want to talk about?
Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. I love the idea of stoicism. You know, I think it's a good way of looking at life.
There we go, dude. Hot take, hot take.
I don't even remember what I wrecked last week.
What about
but that's fine.
Speed Racer?
Oh, hell yeah. Good
I didn't watch Speed
recommendation.
Racer though. I didn't watch it this past week. Ariane, have you seen Speed
Fine.
Racer?
You're fine.
I've already seen it before, and I remember it. 'Cause I
Okay.
Good on me for
And what do you
recommending
think?
that.
Do you agree with Max's recommendation? What do you think of it?
prefer Fast 9.
Prefer some Vin Diesel and Dwayne The Rock Johnson action.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair enough. My recommendation of the week is meditations. Like actually, because last week Max thought it was like, oh, I thought you meant meditating. This week I do mean meditating. 15 minutes in the
What do you know
morning,
about meditating?
just do your mantra. Well, bro, I just try to let the thoughts pass, let the feelings pass. The sensation comes up, and you just think, oh, this is neither good nor bad, just only passing. And after 15 minutes of that, bro, you're ready to conquer the United States of America. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know exactly what you said. Trust me, bro.
All right. Do you guys have recommendations this week or something
So that was
Pop
your
to top right now.
recommendation. Meditating.
legitimate? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
They have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds doing it now, man.
Max,
You know?
go for it.
I'm trying to think. Okay. I talked about this on a very long message I left for Ariane. I just finished a classic game from the Wii era called Xenoblade Chronicles. It took me about 75 hours. It is a Japanese role-playing game, and for 60 of those hours, it is what feels like a standard gaming experience, and the last 10, 15 hours just undoes everything you think you know about the story, and it really melted my mind, and I'm really, really glad I saw it through to the end and finished it. And now I'm playing the second one, among a million other games I'm playing right now. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles, if you're looking for 70 hours of fun.
That's the tagline. All right, Ariane, what are we recommending?
All
Ariane,
right,
what
so
are you
this
recommending?
week's recommendation.
Turmeric in the bath.
That's not, you don't get that info just yet. But basically, last week, I blessed you all with some lemon water, with some sea salt. I gave you the skincare routine. This week, I made a purchase, and it changed my life.
Oh, what is it?
What is it?
It's a Kindle.
Oh, okay. That's not the one I thought you were
You're
going to
just
say.
recommending,
That's good.
what you're effectively recommending is books. You're just saying books.
No.
Yeah, a device to...
Device.
Christ.
Yeah, on the actual device.
Yeah.
So you're not staring at a screen while you're reading.
You are literally staring at a screen.
No,
It's
the Kindle is not a
screen.
What is it?
What is it?
It's a different kind of screen. Fam.
Okay.
It's got the
a
ink. It's
different
got
kind of
the
screen.
ink under.
No,
It's
it's not the one that's harmful for your eyes. Put it that way.
It is a screen
It's
without
gentle on
glare.
eyes.
Yeah,
Gentle on the eyes. How are your eyes, Max?
good.
No, no,
2020.
like,
Good for now?
That's amazing. That's better than my eyes. I have like bad prescriptions. I personally, I can read PDFs and .epubs, but I really prefer to hold the book and take notes. That's the Kindle file or EPUBs. But I really
Yeah.
just prefer a tactile experience.
There's it's
what I mean?
easier for me digitally holding something that feels like a book, like the Kindle or an iPad or something. But there was recently when I read Dune, there was a huge amount of pride I had in seeing when I finished it, how like beat up the paperback was, and all these ear tucked pages, and like it was a really cool feeling to be like, I fucking read that, and you can like look at it and see. So I do agree, there is still something to be said for physical books.
Yeah. A little bit of magic there. Be careful before all the liberals take all the books away. And that's our podcast.
Thanks for listening. What do I say? What did I make my...
God help you.
God help you. Thanks. That's my catchphrase that I can't even remember.
Inshallah, we shall find Dory.
God, is that our log off? God help you, and inshallah we shall find Dory.
Until we find a better one, boys. I like them, actually. I like those two. I like them. But we'll see, you know. Everything's tentative. The name's tentative.
Fuck it. The catchphrase is tentative.
There we go. Everything's tentative. But okay, guys. Well, I'm glad we were able to meet this week. Glad we were able to podcast.
Yeah, we found it. We were. The beginning was rough. If you stuck around this long, thanks for trusting us.
Thanks so much. Yeah. I'll send you guys the stuff next time. I mean, no, I'll send you guys the episode probably like, you know, while you're sleeping. And yeah, awesome.
Keep it easy. Thanks for listening.
Peace out, boys.
Bye.
Love ya.
Oh, shit,
Stay
my
safe.
face is not even recording.